Look at your boy, man, coming up the court, pressing Giannis on his center and yamming in his face, man. That's the type of vibes we're coming on. This is the best center build in NBA 2K21. It can set big bodies, it can play defense, it can do literally anything needed. Look, it can even guard point guards. This center build right here will dominate NBA 2K21. So if you want to see how to build this center build, make sure to watch this full video all the way through. I'll have you yamming and jamming and taking off and slamming, man. We are out here vibing, bro. I've been out here going crazy trying to find demigod after demigod, locked in the lab, trying to deliver the best builds in the game. So let's go and get straight into this one. Yo, YouTube, it's your boy Premier, back today with another banger. And in today's video, we're going to be going over one of the best center builds in the game, an Anthony Davis type build. First things first though, you already know the vibes. Like, comment, subscribe. Not gonna spend too long, man. Let's go ahead and get straight into this build video. First things first that I want to talk about today, even though I have the position listed as a center, you're not going to be making a center. If you sit here and compare for yourself, be my guest, compare the center and the power forward. The power forwards have way better attributes, and that is critical for the center position. Next, jersey handed number, all up to you. Now, onto this skill breakdown. For this skill breakdown, I did take a look here at the pure blue, since we're talking about like an Anthony Davis best center kind of build. Early on in 2K20, the pure blues were a vibe, but we do not know the rep system yet. If the rep system is catching lobs, a pure blue or a pure blue red would be nice. But if they do decide to go back to a grade based rep system like a lot of people hope, this is going to be one of the better pie charts in the game. Crazy high defensive stats. You're going to be able to get contact dunks. And then let's just go ahead and move on to the physical. Choose the pure red for the best center build in the game. It's that simple, man. You can look here at the speed in previous years. 2K20, the speed pie chart was a favorite for all the Pro-Am and stage players. But honestly, the pie chart that I think you need to choose for your physical profile is going to be the one at the bottom. If you look here at the top, it's just a lot more beneficial. This year, I think strength is going to become a factor on the screens. And honestly, you're only losing like 5 speed and 5 acceleration. And at that point, your player is going to be able to bang in the paint with the like crazy tall centers, you know what I mean? So I honestly recommend the bottom physical profile. Next, onto these attributes, you can go ahead and start maxing out pretty much your finishing. I honestly don't recommend doing the close shot. I recommend doing the post hook. Since you are a center, if you care about badges, you could upgrade both of them. But in my opinion, to fairly distribute the attributes here, you're going to need to only upgrade the post hook to a 64. That way you get the maximum amount of attribute upgrades possible. Like I said, 64 there for the post hook. Next, we will come back to the shooting here. We will talk about that a little, but let's go ahead and move on to the defense and rebound. First things first, go ahead and max out every single thing. Honestly, from an attribute standpoint, if like legend is a thing, this will be the best center build in the game. You're going to need to distribute your attributes into your defense and rebounding, because these centers, like, to get badges at a lower rep, if legend is not a thing, if the badge upgrades are not a thing, you're going to need to do it based on attributes. A lot of people are going to do it based on badges, and that's fine. But once you hit legend, you get the 10 extra badges. You don't make builds based on badges anymore. You're going to need these attributes on the perimeter and on the lateral defense, on the steal. Your player is going to be a turtle in the pick and roll. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that. Your player is going to have a hard time defending the pick and roll. And don't come crying if you watch this build video and you did not listen to me about the attributes, bro. I'm telling y'all, you're going to need the perimeter, lateral, and steal. You're going to need some of it if you want to be able to play good pick and roll defense. The more elite centers might be able to make it work, but I really don't recommend it. I recommend something along these lines and just saying forget the badges. That's just me, but I know a lot of people are going to make builds based on how they can get the maximum amount of badges possible, and this is a good way to make a shooting paint beast. You heard it here first. You heard it here first, chat. Look at those 6 shooting badges on like a pure red paint beast type of build. Once again, the more elite players will be able to use this build and shoot from the 3-point line. They're going to be green from the midi, especially when they're in takeover. This is going to be a really good comp stage pro-am kind of build for inside centers to still be able to shoot and not be completely ignored from the 3-point line, from the midi. That's a pain in a center's heart when they're not even being guarded. Just let him shoot. So with this type of pure red build, at least you'll be able to shoot somewhat. But honestly, I know a lot of the Park players are not really going to be interested in this build. They're going to be worried about the 53 ball and they're not going to end up making it. So this is what I recommend if you're not really worried about it. As you can see, getting rid of the free throw and trying to upgrade the post fade doesn't really do anything for your badges. So if you're not really worried about shooting at all, besides like a basic midi, a basic three-pointer, you're not really worried about the badges for the shooting, you could do something like this, 15 and 30. This is going to be a really good pure inside kind of build. Me personally, I'm going to do the 12, 16 and 30 for my badge breakdown. That way I can still shoot the ball at a decently high rate, but this is what I recommend for the more casual players. Next, onto the body shape here. You can look through defined, burly, or built. These are the only 3 body shapes I recommend for any type of center. The reason I always favor burly as a center, somebody who mains the center position, look at his shoulders and look at his arms. Look just how big and like brolic he is. You know what I mean? Like the dude is a beast. And what that means for you and your MyPlayer, having the biggest shoulders, being the biggest MyPlayer possible at the center position, you're going to be able to set the best screens possible. Not to mention like box outs, defense, all that kind of stuff. You're just gonna be able to apply the pressure, bro. So next though, let's go ahead and move on to the height. This is going to be highly debated. I know people in my comment section are gonna be like, wham, but I'm not even hearing it, bro. I've sat here and studied this. I've talked to the best centers in the game, talked to people play the comp stage, bro. 7-foot centers, these tall centers, I'm telling you now, chat, are going to die in 2K21 unless they decide to fix these attributes. 6'10 centers, 6'11 centers are gonna be some of the tallest centers you see. Look here at this 6'10. It gets decent 90s, decent 70 perimeter stats, but we haven't even touched the weight. We haven't touched anything like that yet, and it gets no type of context. Look at the 6'11, 70 driving dunk almost. That is terrible. A pure red should be able to get contact dunks. That is not it, bro. I'm telling you, that's not it. I've even had my buddy Dario, he was like, Premier, you have to look at 6'8". 6'8" is like that. It gets basically all 80 everything. I've even talked to some people, I've seen them on Twitter where they're people who host tournaments, they're even comparing and debating if 6'8" is going to be valid in like big money tournaments this year for 21. But from the meta, what I'm really seeing, the most balanced center build possible is 6'9", and that is what I recommend. 6'8" is a risk, and do it at your own risk, but I think 6'8" could be really OP. I will probably end up making a 6'8" center at some point. Next, for the weight though, you have to go ahead and move the weight up to 260 pounds. That way you get the highest interior defense, highest strength possible. Same here for the arms. You need to go ahead and pretty much max them out. Look at the bonuses you get to your steal, block, offensive rebounding. This build is not a primary shooting build, so I don't want you to worry about the negative the negatives towards your shooting. Look at all the positives. Look at the plus 12 to your standing dunk. Look at the higher driving dunk. Having that right there it's a major bonus for your build. Next though, for the takeover, this is going to be debated as well. This is all personal choice. I honestly love glass scanner takeover. In the beginning of the year, guards are 50. You need to see where that ball is going. You need to be able to get the board, or you're gonna have them screaming, why can't you get a board? Why can't you get a board? So honestly, rim protector takeover is good and all. I feel later in the year it will be better when everyone knows how to shoot and you don't really need to focus on rebounds as much. But for the beginning of the year, for the best center build in the game at the beginning of NBA 2K21, I highly recommend you choose a center with glass cleaning takeover. Thank me later when your guard is shooting breaks and you're snagging, bro. And as you can see, you have built a paint beast similar to Anthony Davis Rodman, bro. Come on, you see the comparisons. Let me know if you think this build is a dub. Let me know if you think it's an L, and let me know what video you would like to see next. But that's all for today's video. We're gonna be dropping another one later. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe. It's your boy Premier, and I'm out. Peace.
It's getting hard to keep composure, they keep trying me. I came from nothing, now they bumping my songs overseas. I remember when I first started, they threw dirt on me.